welcome you to this quarterly media briefing session and to appreciate your prompt presence this morning. I would like to request that we start off by doing a quick round of introductions, especially from the media colleagues. We just want to get an indication of the colleagues who are here. If we can just do that for the next 3 minutes, that will be appreciated. We can start on my right, this side. Nico, on your side, is there any media outlet that side? Yes, you can start with, yes. Let's start with Suleiman there, yeah. Eh, bua, as long as voice ka utlwala. Okay, was se go a go ke seo.
O dumelang bagolo ke Suleiman Tebeagai from Third Eye News. Ya leboga.
Dumelang bagolo, my name is Koketso Digobe. I'm from UFM and Newsnote.
Dumelang batsadi, ke Kgaola Oleneo from Legae la Dikgang.
Madume bagolo ke Archie ba beile go tswa ko a utlwile dikgang.
Dumelang bagolo, Thabiso Gaselebelwe from Mahikeng FM.
Dumelang bagolo, Sello Mokgopa from SABC.
Dumelang bagolo, Obakeng Maje from the Guardian newspaper.
Dumelang bagolo, Thaba Morutwa, SABC News.
Dumelang bagolo, Zablon Maine, SABC News.
Are you the last, Zebulon? Were you the last? Oh, this.
Dumelang, Refile Seboko from Newsroom Africa.
Were you the last, Ref?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Johannes Makate from Claims Magazine. Thank you.
Welcome, Tate Makati, the chairperson of the print colleagues in the province. All right, thank you very much, colleagues. Now we know who's here. Colleagues, we are joined this morning by the Premier of the province, together with members of the Executive Council, as well as heads of departments and heads of communication, as well as spokespersons of the various MECs. I take the opportunity to welcome all of you, members of Exco, HODs, HOCs, as well as members of the media. The briefing will take the following format, colleagues. The Premier will make a presentation of the statement. Thereafter, we will take 2 rounds of questions. Now, if you would really love to ask a question, make a question when the opportunity is granted, so that how re bone ya ka batho ba ba sa siamang fa re sa go fe tšhono. Ke bua go sa le gale gore re tla letla ditikologo tse 2 hela tsa dipotso morago ga mo re tla be re tswalela. Ke tshepa re utlwana batsadi, tona kgolo a o siame. Ka nako e, let's invite the Premier to present the statement.
No, good morning, Program Director, Brian Setswambu, members of the Executive Council present here today, the Director General of the province, heads of departments present here today, members of the media present here today, and those who are always on various platforms, residents of the Northwest Province, Bagaetso, Dumela. Dumela. Thank you very much. Program Director would put forward a disclaimer that I have flu, and you will pardon with me if my voice is not well. But I must also emphasize that this is our normal quarterly briefing. We made a commitment a year ago that we will always have on a quarterly basis media briefings. So this one is not different from any other. I saw yesterday on social media, it seems this one has a hype. I don't know why. But for us, it's a normal quarterly media briefing where we account to the people of the province. We meet here today on our quarterly engagements following the death of 14 illegal mine workers who comprise largely of foreign nationals. This tragic incident has sent shockwaves across the country and our beloved province. We understand that 8 people who were rescued following this calamity have been admitted in hospital and are receiving medical treatment. 3 has been discharged after receiving treatment and were arrested for contravening the country's immigration laws. As we send our heartfelt condolences to the grieving families, we are equally concerned about the surge of illegal mining activities in our province. The scourge of illegal mining continues to wreak havoc in many parts of our province, and particularly the Bojanala Platinum District municipality, which has become a hotspot area. However, the law enforcement agency have been hard at work to deter these incidents, as heavy machineries which is used in the commissioning of these activities have been confiscated and arrests have been made. We are hopeful that the appointment of the new Provincial Commissioner of Police in the province, Lieutenant General Arthur Peter Adams, will strengthen our resolve in dealing with this matter and its spillovers effects in our communities. Illegal mining has become a single dominant, sophisticated criminal network in our province, which must be nipped in the bud. Program Director, as the provincial government, we are also concerned about the rise of unemployment figures, which continues to bedevil the developmental trajectory of this country and this province in particular. Just yesterday, the sad news of Statistics South Africa released in its quarterly labor force survey report for the second quarter of 2026, where extended unemployment rate in our province has reached an alarming rate of 56%. This is despite various intervention measures that we have initiated to address unemployment in the province. Therefore, under the weight of these figures, it cannot be business as usual, as drastic measures need to be exploited to find a lasting solution to the scourge of unemployment. However, these solutions must be centered on our advocacy and promotion for good governance practices that will culminate in the attraction of investment in our province and in particular our municipalities. Municipalities in this province generally are constitutionally mandated to act as a primary catalyst for local economic growth, provision of reliable services by building and maintaining core infrastructure facilities, as well as forging partnerships between local enterprises and private investors. Our municipalities are not yet out of the woods, but through various interventions that have been made by the Executive Council, there is enormous progress that has been registered to improve the audit outcomes. These measures have culminated into this improved financial governance outcome. The Moses Kotane Municipality, JB Max, Greater Tahu municipalities improved from qualified to unqualified audit opinion, joining Bojanala District Municipality, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda District Municipality, and Moretele Local Municipality in the 25-26 financial year. Mamusa Local Municipality has moved from adverse to qualified opinion. Notably, disclaimer audit opinions have decreased significantly from 9 municipalities in 2020 to 2021 to just 1 in 2024 to 2025, which is Ditsobot. As the provincial government, we also want to applaud Ratlo Local Municipality for improved performance from a disclaimer to a qualified outcome. Ratlo Municipality has successfully completed the submissions of the annual financial statement without the use of consultants, which is a rural municipality, very small, without a lot of funds, living on grants. They decided to use their internal capacity comparatively to even municipalities in townships, in towns, who continue to use consultants, but still there is no improvement. In Ratlo, successfully with internal capacity, they have produced AFS on their own. We must applaud them that they did very well. Program Director, the Provincial Executive Council has approved a recalibrated implementation approach to strengthen the province's response to municipalities experiencing financial difficulties. We will continue to accelerate the implementation of the financial recovery plans, our FRPs, in municipalities placed under provincial intervention. This decision follows a comprehensive assessment of the implementation of mandatory and voluntary financial recovery interventions across the province. While progress has been recorded, the assessment has established that most municipalities continue to experience severe financial and governance challenges, necessitating a strengthened intervention approach to restore financial sustainability and improved service delivery. Now, as part of the revised implementation strategy, the Provincial Executive Council has approved enhanced terms of reference for provincial executive representatives deployed in municipalities. The revised terms of reference give practical effect to the provision of Section 1395C of the Constitution, read together with the Municipal Finance Management Act, the MFMA. The support to municipalities has also been strengthened by the rollout of road infrastructure projects to reincarnate economic activities in our peri-urban and rural communities. As a province, we continue to make significant strides in delivering strategic road infrastructure projects. The Pilendaba multi-year project has now reached practical completion and is expected to be completed ahead of schedule. Very good performance. The project forms part of the province's strategic cross-border road network, strengthening connectivity and facilitating economic trade between the North, West, and Gauteng province. Furthermore, the 300 million rand Volmaranstad Wesselsbron Road project, another strategic cross-border corridor linking the Dr. Kenneth Kaunda District Municipality with the Free State Province, was completed in May 2026. The upgraded route enhances the movement of people and goods, support regional trade, and contributes to a broader economic development. We have also, in our acceleration of service delivery, introduced contractors for the construction of the Dwarsberg to Parksdraai Road via PTD Sulejang, emphasizing the need to improve access to public infrastructure and safer roads network. Building on this momentum, work will start in earnest for the upgrading of the Koster to Magaliesberg Road as an alternative corridor to the N4 toll route. Botlhe ba ba sa batleng go patala toll gate, re tla ya rotlhe ko Koster Magaliesberg. The project is expected to improve mobility while easing the financial burden associated with the toll fees, particularly for low-income commuters and taxi operators who rely on this road for their daily livelihoods. We are also pleased, Bagaetsho, to announce that government has completed and finalized the appointment of a contractor for the Nelson Mandela Phase 2 in July 2026. As per the pronouncement made by the Premier and the MEC respectively, this is a major catalytic project which is aimed at revitalizing the capital city, which is Mahikeng of the Northwest Province. We made a commitment that we want to facelift Mahikeng, and we started with roads in the areas around Mahikeng and in town so that the capital city must have a facelift. The project will entail the widening of the Denville Bridge and completion of the stormwater structure, which was constructed in phase 1 of the project. It will also to reduce public disruption and road user inconvenience. The Department of Public Works and Roads has planned to repair and resurface all alternative routes which will be utilized as detours during the main construction works to ensure they are trafficable and safe for road users. This will include the Bophelong Road from Denville Circle to Vryburg Road and other identified roads or streets in and around the CBD of Mahikeng. Due to the complexity and the magnitude of this project, the Department of Public Works and Roads will commence with the extensive mobilization period in August 2026, which will include stakeholder engagement with all affected businesses in the CBD area, communities around Mahikeng, small enterprises, and relevant regulatory bodies for all required statutory requirements. Program Director as the policy directives of 2026 and 2027, the provincial policy statement, we are supporting municipalities where capacity is constrained by completing this major strategic infrastructure project. These interventions are in the Tsobotla local municipality. A comprehensive assessment of priority municipal streets in Lichtenburg has been undertaken to inform road maintenance intervention in this municipality. The identified roads include Nelson Mandela Drive, the R52 and Bayers Nodier Drive in Lichtenburg. These interventions will comprise of pothole patching, asphalt overlay, and road rehabilitation in partnership with Sandra. In addition, we will undertake the resealing of Dr. Mangope Drive and First Street in Itsoseng, with construction scheduled to commence this month. The provincial government has also reached practical completion of the rehabilitation of Road D933 and Road D2095 between Lichtenburg and Galekspan. The project of an upgrade of approximately 25.8 kilometers of road infrastructure significantly improve mobility and connectivity within the Ngaka Modiri Molem. These projects have resulted in the creation of employment opportunities as part of our ongoing efforts to respond to job crisis confronting our province. Job creation efforts have also been given impetus by the recruitment of over 6,000 young people in the construction sector services, in the construction sector and the service sector and the merit sector in the current financial year. Moreover, we have facilitated the creation of over 21,000 jobs within the liquor industry, while an estimated 14 million was generated through liquor license and renewals. Furthermore, the regulated gambling sector sustained over 1,600 direct employment opportunities. These gaming activities, yielding about 2.38 million in revenue, of which 164.5 thousand million was contributed directly to the provincial fiscus. This is the work of the Department of Economic Development, Conservation, Tourism and Environment. As a vital driver of the province's gross domestic product, the tourism industry experienced substantial growth, generating about 9.242 employment opportunities and adding 10.9 billion to the economy of the province. Moreover, all of us we know, accommodation establishment comprising of over 6,000 rooms and 12,000 beds registered close to 3,000 jobs in this province. The tourism sector will be reinforced by the return of the South African Music Awards, Metsotso, Ralebo, and the hosting of the allied soccer matches, as we recently demonstrated with the Toyota Cup, where we hosted the Love and Peace, Kaizer Chiefs, and Scotland Football Club. The final stages in the implementation of the Bojanala Special Economic Zone are nearing completion following the appointment of 2 senior officials by the Minister of Trade and Industry, Repakstown, to provide strategic governance and policy guidance for our special economic zone. This includes providing technical expertise to support the finalization of the Special Economic Zone designation process. Once fully operational, the SEZ will create over 20,000 work opportunities through a targeted 15 billion rand interventions in investment. In our quest, Bagaetsho, to instill sound fiscal discipline, the province has managed to spend 99% of the 57 billion appropriated in 2025-2026. In essence, we have used all the money given to this province by Provincial Treasury and National Treasury in the 25-26. We used 99% of the budget. All the MECs adhered to the instruction I gave. For a non-spending by an MEC, it's a dismissible offense. As an audit outcome for the 25-26 financial year, we continue to trickle in. We take this, as the audit outcomes for 25-26 financial year trickled in, we take this opportunity to congratulate both Provincial Treasury and the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs for obtaining clean audits. Provincial Treasury ba setse ba tlwaetse ke selo modimo. Re ka lebogela hela ba bašwa ba rona ba Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. Re molapile re bole ra le lebogisa. Tota re kunene ke dijo tsa gagwe go le gale. Dilo tseo di tlwaetse. We believe that we have put systems in place that will result in more departments achieving clean audits, and where there are challenges, we will intervene to assist. We have also managed to fill all the vacancies of heads of departments with the recent appointment of Mayor Lebogang Diale as the new accounting officer for the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. You'll recall we were attacked severely, including at the legislature, that our heads of department, successfully we made a commitment. By then we had only one female head of a department. And since then, we made a commitment and we have successfully filled all the remaining, which was Department of Health. We appointed a female. The department, now we are agriculture, we have appointed a female. In social development, we appointed a female. Now we've got 6 males as head of departments, and we've got 4. We are steadfast that we are going to reach 50-50. As Borreba resigner, but I replace Wagebombe. This appointment affirms our support for employment equity and women empowerment in the executive and senior management of government. To date, as I said, we have 4 and 6. We are striving to have 50-50. The appointment of Mayor Diale to agriculture, therefore it suggests Ntatekekan, who was there to assist the Department of Agriculture, will revert back to the Department of Community Safety and Transport on his substantive appointment. We take this opportunity to thank Dr. Kekana for holding the fort as acting HOD for the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. The registered preliminary expenditure program director for the first quarter of the financial year is 14.841 billion, which is about 25.35% and slightly above the expected threshold of 25% by 0.35% and consistent with the spending in the prior financial year. We have now in the first quarter spent slightly above 25% which is consistent with the way we do things from the previous financial year. Despite operating within a constrained physical environment, the Northwest Provincial Government has demonstrated prudent financial management while continuing to prioritize service delivery. The province spent 1.210 billion on infrastructure by the end of June 2026. This represents 21.3% of the infrastructure budget for 2027 financial year. The bulk of this delivery is carried by 4 major departments. Human settlement is leading by 25.8%, followed by public works with 21%, followed by health with 20%, education with 17%. These departments are responsible for the construction of houses, roads, clinics, and schools on which our communities depend, and their spending confirms that projects are underway in the opening court. And therefore, our assertion that we are going to use the public and private infrastructure rollout programs also to mitigate against unemployment. These resources were directed towards programs that addresses poverty, inequality, while at the same time improving the lives of our residents. I'm pleased, Bagaitsu, to announce another significant milestone in our program to build a modern, efficient, and digitally enabled Northwest Provincial Government. As part of implementing our digital transformation program, the province has been exploring opportunities to modernize government systems while reducing duplication and ensuring that we derive greater value from public resources. Through engagements between the Office of the Premier and the Gauteng Department of E-Government, the Northwest Provincial Government has now successfully secured the source code and technical framework of Gauteng Online Professional Job Center. It's an e-recruitment system at no acquisition cost to this province. This is a significant achievement for the Northwest. The e-recruitment platform will assist us in modernizing the way the Northwest Provincial Government manages recruitment into the provincial service of government. We want to progressively move away from a fragmented and manual processes towards a more effective and efficient digital environment that improves administration and makes it easier for citizens to access employment opportunities within their provincial government. This e-recruitment initiative demonstrates that our digital transformation journey is beginning to translate strategy into tangible results, not only through better technology, but through real savings, greater efficiency, and smarter government. In line with the stringent government measures to ensure that we've got a learner safety, we will continue to conduct our compulsory inspection and verification of our scholar transport buses in all the 4 districts. Amongst others, the inspection focuses on verifying the roadworthiness and safety requirements, authenticating the number of vehicles deployed per route, and confirming the validity of operating licenses. This is primarily aimed at ensuring that an operator license of a specific bus corresponds with applicable permits of the contracted vehicle. Operators are once more reminded that failure to comply will lead to termination of contracts, as learner safety is a non-negotiable priority and will not be compromised. So far, 94 operators have been terminated for failing to comply with the guidelines as contained in their service level agreement. So we are hopeful that we will find a lasting solution for our NTI in relation to our governance shortcoming. This entity belongs to the people of the Northwest government and its government, but provides a commuter services to Gauteng, especially around Pretoria. It is for this that there has been interaction between us and the Northwest government and the Gauteng government. This engagement between the two provinces are chaired by both premiers and attended by the two MECs respectively. And we are engaged at high-level discussions to look for a strategic approach to recapitalize the entity and to return it to a profitability and a financial stability for it to have proper operational obligation. Program Director, as I conclude, I wish to emphasize that government, through the adoption of the medium-term development plan, has mandated us to see to the full realization of 3 priorities encapsulated in this program, and as aligned to the provincial growth and development strategy recently adopted in 2026. These are the following: to drive inclusive growth and create jobs. Number 2, to reduce poverty and tackle high cost of living. Number 3, to build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. As a result, we are duty-bound to evaluate respective departments and their executives in adhering to this mandate. Therefore, in terms of Section 132, subsection 1 and 2 of the Constitution, the Premier has the executive powers to make changes and strengthen the work of governance, including the implementation of this objective. And having assessed the performance of various departments, I've taken a decision to make the following changes in the executive. MEC Vessels Morweng, who used to be the MEC for transport, will now become the new MEC for arts, culture, sports, and recreation. MEC Virginia Tlapi, who used to be the MEC responsible for community safety, who's responsible for arts, sports, and culture, will now be the new MEC responsible for transport. I've spoken to the Speaker of the Legislature, Dr. Sebonda Samashone Desbomohono, that she must accept to become the new MEC for education in this province. So she has agreed. I've appointed Medes Bomohodo to be the new MEC for education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Premier. Colleagues, at this stage, let me note hands from you members of the media. Okay, I see one hand so far, 2. Are there only 2? Only 2. All right. Let's move.
I think so. Well, thank you so much, Program Director. My question, I have 2 questions exactly. Premier, you have repeatedly committed to improving service delivery. How will these changes translate into better services for communities that continue to face challenges such as water shortages, poor roads, and unemployment? My second question is that with about 3 months left before the matric exams, these changes you've made in the education department, when they affect the sectors, especially to improve the last year's results?
Okay, number 2.
Good morning once again. Zebulon Maine from SABC. I just want to check with the Premier that with regards to the changes that he made from his provincial cabinet, what really prompted the Premier to do so? Is it because of lack of providing services to the community, or what might be the reasons behind this? Thank you very much.
Okay, those are the questions. I have one here from the insight factor. It's 4 questions. The first one, he says, what steps has the Premier taken to hold the Mayor of Ngakamodere Molema accountable with all the evidence that has been presented over the years and through the media? The second one, he says, the Premier's thoughts on black companies not being paid by the same municipality. The third one, is the Premier aware that the CFO of the very same municipality does not have an official employment contract? The fourth one, our sources within the mentioned municipality indicate how the mayor interferes with administrative duties, going as far as treating employees and suspending them. Those are the questions from the insight factor. Bonolo, do you have a question there on your side? Yes, you can come through.
Yes, thank you, Program Director. We have a question from Ananias Ndlovu from Naledi News. And he is asking, Premier, you touched on the issue of unemployment in the province. The figures appear to indicate that unemployment continues to worsen in the Northwest Province. My question is the province failing to cap unemployment? If not, Premier, could you please share with us the concrete plans and interventions the provincial government is implementing to address unemployment, particularly among young people? Lastly, Premier, every time I have an opportunity to ask you a question, I raise this issue because I believe it is important for the sustainability of community media in the province. This time, let me ask this: is the province ready to implement the 30% community media advertising spend, as mentioned by the Deputy Minister in the Presidency, Honorable Kenny Morolong, when he recently met with the Executive Council? Can you provide clarity on whether the provincial government has a plan and timeline for implementing this commitment, and how community media in the Northwest can expect to benefit? Thank you, Premier. We've got another one from Ulifile Vilakasi from Mahikeng FM, or rather Mabatu FM, and he is asking about the N14. He's saying, regarding the issue of the partnership with Sanral, I would like to ask about the N14 road that connects the Northern Cape with Namibia, which was severely affected by the rain. Have you engaged Sanral to find out when they will repair the N14, considering that this road plays a very important role in the economy? Thank you very much.
Right, I'm not sure how are you distributing them, Premier, those questions so far, are you taking them alone? Okay.
Ke na le banna le basadi ba ba tileng ba ba nonohileng ba tla re thusa. Se se thata se. Now, let me start by the one you were concluding with. The issue of the N14. I had an opportunity to visit this road, N14, with MEC Molapisi, MEC Museno, MEC Mukua. I'm not sure. but I remember the MECs I've mentioned. We also had a discussion with Sandra on this road. You'll recall that Sandra also even decided to close the road for a considerable period. They were monitoring the road. We are aware that Sandra at this stage, they are conducting an investigation on the road because every time when there is heavy rain or floods, we are experiencing the same results. Now, part of their investigation is for purpose of planning, to say what is that can be done to ensure that in future we don't go through the same experience. So we are waiting for that assessment that is done by Sandral. Because it's their road, we believe at the appropriate time, Sandral will then engage us and exchange views as to what is that can be done. If there is any other additional information, the MEC will share, but for now, that's what I know. We are waiting for that report so that we are able to be guided for Sandral, what is its intention. The issue of the community radio station and print media, I think here we should be applauded. That was I thought. That is Trump. That when we arrived at the 7th administration, little attention was given to community media. And we insisted as the 7th administration that we must start focusing on assisting our community media. And we have been doing very well. And we are alive to the fact that the Deputy Minister, Kenny Morolong, has put a 30% target, which we believe strongly that it's attainable, is doable. So the department are expected to be able to use the community media. And even the Northwest Premiers Coordinating Council, where we meet our state-owned entities, including municipalities, we have emphasized that as a provincial government, we have started, we expect municipalities to follow suit. So from where I'm sitting, I think that as a province, we must be applauded from what we found when we arrived and where we are now. And last time we reported significant increase, even from a budget point of view, that we have spent on community media. And we are resolute that the 30% is attainable and is doable. What is left for us, that is Tombung, is to monitor or possibly put targets so that we are able to put an expected milestone and whether people are performing to the expected, so that when we judge performance of every department, it's from a well-articulated expectation, not a wishy-washy expectation. So probably I think that's what we need to do. But our departments have been cooperating, our entities have been cooperating to use our community media, including print. I think government general, the issue of black companies which are not being paid. As government, we introduced, because the law is clear, you must pay people within, 30 days after service was rendered. And as government, through the provincial treasury, we have put a system where departments are reporting on a monthly basis of all the services rendered and when these invoices were submitted and when these people were paid, and if they are not paid, what are the reasons? So that measure is there that we are using to make sure that this compliance is made. Now, at times payment is not done in line with that expectation for various reasons. Same service providers, at times they submit their invoices incorrectly. So there's a back and forth in terms of the invoice. At times they don't submit them on time. and they want to bring invoices when they are 3 or 4, when there is a lot of money inside them. But we are saying, yes, we agree that there are instances where reports suggest that people submitted on time and they were not paid on time. And provincial treasury is sitting on that, and they make the departments to be responsible for non-compliance of that. And people who make it impossible to pay our black people in particular are made to account with a possible consequence management related to this, because the department must tell us who caused it and what have you done with this person. So we are committed to pay our service providers in time. And you know, I have insisted and consistently reported in all our interaction of a sphere of government called local government. And how do we relate to local government? Now we've got a municipality known as Ngaka Mudirimolema. Now, Ngaka Mudirimolema for some time has been going through a number of challenges. And this challenge, to a large extent, it has been at the political level, and at times it was administrative. All of us, I think you know, we had a municipal manager there who is under suspension. And being under suspension, he's going through a possible disciplinary process so that it must determine whether he's guilty or not. Now, the issue that is being raised that there are 2 senior managers there, not one, who don't have a contract of employment with the municipality. By law, the municipal manager is the man or the person responsible, because these people report to him to explain why these people, they don't have contract of employment. Now, part of his negligence includes what you are asking, because he was suspended, and at the time of the realization that these people, they don't have contract of employment, he was not there. And the explanation provided is that, no, it's not that there was no contract of employment. It was done. It was discussed by the supervisor and the supervisee. After discussions, there were areas of concerns which had to be attended, and they were never attended. So there were discussions with the CFO and another director, they are not sure responsible for what, who have received contracts. They engaged the district municipality through its municipal manager. After discussions, there were disagreements on the contract, and things had to be corrected. And the municipal manager, since then, he never bothered to do anything. So that's where the issue is. Now, as things stand, the council is expected to receive a report, receive legal opinion, because this matter is governed by legislation. Because the legislation is very clear that if you have not have an employment contract on this period and this period, this is exactly what must happen. Because this is a matter between 2 contracting entity or people. Therefore, we believe that the municipality will process this matter in accordance with the law and go to council and make an appropriate decision. As it relates to the conduct of the mayor, as allegations are made, I have not received any in my office of any suggestion that this is what the municipal manager has done and this is what the mayor has done and it needs your attention. We believe that the municipality, as a sphere of government, they've got the responsibility to attend all matters that relate to the executive mayor. In the event the provincial government, through the Department of Local Government, come to a conclusion, assisted by provincial treasury, and come to the Premier and say, there is a need for an intervention. We believe that this thing has now gone beyond the council or the municipality. We will intervene. Like they did, the municipality. They asked for a secondment of a acting municipal manager through the Department of Local Government. In consultation with the Premier, we have since sent an acting municipal manager sometime last year. The same municipality later came and said, we are satisfied, we want another secondment, but we don't want you to return the current acting municipal manager. We agreed because it's not an intervention from provincial government. It's them who asked. And if you ask, you are given, and later you say you are unhappy, you request, we will assist you. So we are of the view as provincial government that until this has reached a stage where we believe strongly, there is an extraordinary intervention that must happen. And we believe also that the seconded acting municipal manager, because he comes from the provincial government, he can give us proper account of the situation in Ngaka, Modiri, Molem. The issue of service delivery generally in the province. We cannot say that we are happy with the service delivery in the province. We still have challenges in the province. In areas where there is no water, there are areas where we don't have proper roads, there are areas where you still see sewage spillage in our different areas. And therefore, we are going to strive on a perpetual basis or on a continuous basis to ensure that we mitigate or we work at ensuring that we eradicate all these service delivery challenges. But we are convinced that there are areas where we are doing very well. If you listen to what we said as provincial government, we have done as it relates to roads and municipalities which are water service authorities, as they report to the provincial government on the work that they are doing, especially let's speak about water, together with the National Minister of Water, as a provincial government, our program of Bulela Metsi, we believe and we are convinced that with the current running projects of water in the province, we will be able to mitigate against lack of water in the province. Because these projects are intended to exactly address that once they are completed. The matric results, we believe strongly that education it's a teamwork. Education includes parents, it includes children, it includes teachers, it includes provincial government. So matric results are not dependent on an individual, and therefore it's a collective of all of us. What is needed in the Department of Education is to stabilize it, to have leadership, and as a result of that, we believe that 90% of the work is done in the classroom and in the management of schools in different schools, and including by the role that is played by our parents. So we strongly believe that this may not have any effect on the matric results. Actually, we hope that we should be able to escalate or not accelerate, in actual fact, accelerate our pace, ensuring that we even increase our numbers at the end of the year. I think I've covered what I thought is critical. Unless I've missed one, you will indicate so. MECs, I'm not sure if there's any MEC who wants to come and amplify. MEC Mokua, okay.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Premier. I think you were on point with regard to that particular road from Vryburg to Namibia. We can safely report that SANRAL is in a process of working on the design, because all of us, I think we are aware that that particular road is at a lowest point. So SANRAL is working on a design to try and lift it up so that in future, we don't also experience such on that particular road. And the other challenge that I believe we can use this particular opportunity to really reflect on is the challenge of the water that cannot be accounted for coming from the nearby farming communities that I think we will continue to engage with the Department of Water in dealing with such matters and verifying them, because where we are sitting, there are issues that must be verified because there are policies that are governing such. I think also we must talk about the Sanral routes, in particular N12 that is passing through Kuma, Stilfontein. We all are aware that we also have a challenge of a sunken road again, and this is now the second incident, but I believe that we have reached an amicable conclusion with Sanral that it's a road that needs an attention, and it should not, that particular challenge should not recur. And I think we can also remember that the N18 that is from Mahiken to Taung also had a problem during flooding, where there was an unaccounted water coming from the nearby farming communities that I believe that it's a matter that between the provincial department and Sanral will continue to engage with the water, national water authority to deal with that particular matter, assess the captured water in the nearby farming, and also verify if such is a case. And also, let me also talk to N14 from Ventersdorp to Colini. We are all aware that it is a Sanral road, but Sanral kept on, just working on the existing road. But we have agreed that Sanral need to make sure that all the national roads in the province must reach also national status as with other provinces. So I thought that I should use this opportunity, Premier. Thank you very much.
MEC Lenkopane would also want to make an addition about the unemployment situation and what is it that the government has been doing so far. Over to you, MEC Lenkopane.
No, thanks, Brian. I think whilst we agree that Premier has actually gone to town on his plans, we will also agree that he has launched his PGDS, which brings in the strategies and the new strategies. The question was saying, are there plans in place looking at the unemployment rate that we see in the province? The reality is that whilst unemployment continue to rise, the 7th administration also continue to come up with new plans. I think it's going to be very clear when the Premier pronounces his investments that are alive, that are in the province, that addresses issues of improvement on the strategy to deal with tourism as a sector, the improvements and strategies that are there to promote agriculture and ecotourism, the strategies and the investments that are there to deal with matters that speaks to mining and beneficiation, the strategies that are there and the investments that the Premier will be pronouncing that are already signed, that will now be also to deal with the poverty and mainly unemployment targeting youth. You'll recall that last Friday also there was a launch of the skills development, which is actually the first phase, because we are also as a province focusing on not only creation of jobs, but creation of job opportunities, focusing on important sectors that are embedded in the PGDS. So the plans that are here are renewed and the strategies that are here are renewed. And we are confident that we might not reach a better percentage, but if you look at the percentage of the second quarter compared to also the past 3 quarters from 2025 since the 7th administration, there is a rise. It is low, but looking at how the other sectors are performing is better. So I would not dwell much into it. I think it will come clear on the plans as embedded on the strategies that are going to reflect on the investment that the Premier will pronounce in his conference. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We are taking the last round as I indicated. After this, there shall be no provision for questions. This is the last one. Hausa botse, ho ile fela ya. Okay, my sister at the back. You are number 1, number 2, number 3, Joe there, number 4, Obake, number 5, Taban, number 6, Zebulon. Those are the 6 questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Bitumelo Tsetle here. Premier, what positive impact do you expect the new e-recruitment system to have on job seekers in the province?
E-recruitment system, what impact do you expect it to have in the province?
Well, thank you once more. Premier, with the 2026 local government election approaching, some may view this reshuffle as politically motivated. How do you ensure the people of the Northwest Province that these changes are about improving governance rather than electionary?
Number 3.
Good day, Pilo Mvana. Premier, you mentioned the tourism investment earlier on. You made an example, the upcoming summer 32 events in Sun City this coming weekend. We want to know what is, how much is the Northwest government investing in terms of monetary value in the event, and what is the return on investment is hoping to get in terms of sustainable jobs for the youth? Thank you.
Yeah. Number 4. That's Joe.
Good morning again, colleagues. Thank you, Ndade Strambung. Lina laga ke Johannes Mokgosi, as I indicated earlier. I'm a publisher of Claims Magazine and Lentswe Weekly News, but I'm also the provincial chairperson of Association of Independent Publishers. Ke ikarabella mo print sector, and also a deputy national ya AIP. Ke rata fela go ya ka ga se potso ke tshwaelo. My colleague Ananias Ndlovu o fetsa go botsa ka issue ya 30%, and ke rata gore ke re Premier, the issue of 30% ke so se leng gore as an AIP we are busy engaging to ensure mo go sona go ensure gore the province implements and municipalities implements the 30%. Ntate Kenny Morolo ha na le mo provinceng gare the 30% it's an issue e leng gore santsane ke tlhoka go discussiwa or go negotiatiwa. We say it's implementable with immediate effect. So re a leboga Premier ka mantswe a gago gore as puso this administration le dira go tletse seatla to ensure gore our print sector ya ungwelwa. So le rona as a association we are busy making sure that this 30% it's been implemented with immediate effect. Se ke eletsang go se utlwa re ile ra nna le kopano le PCF, Provincial Communicators Forum, ba re inviteile ko Protea Hotel. Amongst our discussion in le yona issue ya 30%. Se re se kopile mo go bona ke gore colleagues, now that the issue of 30% is on the table, re kopa puso e re bolelle gore when and how that 30% is going to be implemented. Ke yona ntho e leng gore re batla go itse gore how and when that 30% is going to be implemented. Re dumela gore mo kopanong e tla tlanya PCF Ntate Setswambung o tla re invite gape, and ha re invite se re se buileng ko that meeting ke gore please colleagues ha re kopaneng ka that information gore puso e thulagantse go le go kana kang go ela tlhoko gore the 30% is implementable. And le rona as an organization, ke ratile mahoko a gago Premier, gore you will going to put a monitoring mechanism in place. E leng gore you'll come and report gore which departments are implementing this 30%. Le rona as association, ke be fela mo tafoleng. What we have done, we have appointed a researcher. This researcher would do a research on the 30%, not provincial only, in 9 provinces. So we represent 9 provinces. So the research, it's on the second leg. It's going to be completed very soon. Once it's completed, we are going to bring it and table to the province. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Number 5, Taba. Oh, okay.
Hey, batho, re song.
Ke ne ke re ke a go jumpa.
Like
Ke nagana
first
o
round
robetse.
also, I see. Okay, no, thank you, Ntate Stombu. My name is Obake Maje from the Guardian newspaper. Premier, on the issue of high rate of unemployment, don't you think it's high time to declare unemployment in the province, the state of emergency? And also, on the issue of reshuffling, I remember when you appointed your MECs or your executive, you said that they will be on the performance-based contracts. Have you made these changes simply because of underperforming, or it is because of some political issues that we understand have rattled your executive? On the issue of, on this one, can the MEC of Northwest Public Works update us on the road that links Matsim village and Molelema that has been constructed or under construction for many, many years? Just give us an update. And then to the Premier again, will you ever conduct a lifestyle audit on your executive and senior managers? Lastly, to the newly appointed MEC for Arts and Culture, Ntate Wessels Moray, just take us through regarding the Taung Cultural Calabash plans, because okay, all right, no. MEC Virginia Tlapi will assist you on this. Well, will the Calabash take place in September, or it will happen in November, as it's been the issue? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I would like to talk about incomplete projects in the province. We have quite a number of incomplete RDP projects. We've run stories about one. The latest one that we had was in April in Tswang local municipality ko Diretsani. 50 billion was spent on these RDP houses, but they remain incomplete. We reached out to the department committed that they would start a new contractor to complete, but residents are still calling us, telling us even now, nothing has been done. The other one is the issue of sewer spillages. It seemed as if Motlhabeng was the only challenge, but recently in Kanana, Flagstaff, we have residents calling us about sewer spillages on the roads. We'd also like an update on the one that was done here at Motlhabeng. I remember there was a commitment that the pipe will be replaced. Would like an update on that. We hear that there's an issue really of unemployment in the province. Electricity is a challenge, especially in Mahikeng. We have outages, and then residents are encouraged to log for complaints, but Eskom takes forever to respond. It can take up to 7 days for a household to get its complaint attended. The other issue is that yesterday, Justice Minister Mamoloko Kubai announced a major legal crackdown on illegal mining with the introduction of the General Mining Law Amendment Bill. Can we get your reaction to this bill as Northwest is prone to this illegal mining? And the last one for me will be the smart city that was launched, where it was supposed to be built, I think, in Lokaling. There was a dispute between the government and the residents of that area. Would like an update on that, because seemingly it's like projects for but nothing ever gets complete. Thank you very much.
Zebulon, o bone gore Thabang o botse dipotso tse kae akere? A ke sure go dira yalo le wena, ne? Lo tswa company e one akere. All right.
Okay, no, I won't ask so many questions. I think the question that I wanted to ask, I did ask it, but Maje o e boditse gape. And then the second one is that Premier, with regards to the issue of the speaker, what is going to happen with the position? Because I heard that you didn't mention any person who's going to close that gap. That gap. What is going to happen with that vacancy? Thank you.
All right, Bonolo, from the online, are there any questions? This is the last round. Even on the online, we are taking the last round of questions.
Okay, this one is from Kumo Mujumi from Ratlo Newsfeed. I think the first and second questions have been asked already and will be responded to. The third one is that what is the government doing to ensure that small-scale farmers and beneficiaries of land reform receive funding, resources, access to markets and technical support so that they can use the land productively and create jobs? And the last one is, what specific strategies does the government have to revive rural economy through agriculture, in particular with SMMEs and cooperatives, and to provide rural businesses with opportunities to do business with the government? Thank you.
That's the only one. All right. Premier, simula ka mang this time? Emi simula pisi gona le for ene. Emi si tlhapi, emi si lenkopane.
Oh, thank you very much, Resto Mung, and good morning. There are two questions posed to us. One, the smart city. Yes, we can confirm that there were a number of smart city or mega city projects pronounced in the 6th administration. Some of these projects were said to be shuffle ready. The project you are referring to, Yako locally, student accommodation city. We had a meeting le Mokgosi ba Rolombo Ratsidi. In our interaction with Mokgosi, a meeting which was led by the Premier, we agreed that there are issues regarding the land where this smart city or student accommodation is supposed to be built. But that is not the only area where there is an objection to that. So the Premier established a team led by MEC Sambata to engage Mokgosi on issues the restoration ya lefatshe. So far, discussions are still taking place. We are not discussing issue ya smart city, or you have objected on the construction of smart city here. Can you allow us to build and we proceed to other areas? We are discussing the entire objection ya lefatshe la Barolo. So that's where we are, basically. It means where projects were planned by different departments, those projects would not start up until we have concluded our discussion and the engagement. And it's just unfortunate that we are not moving with speed, but we are hopeful that at the end of the day, once we have agreed and settled the discussion, the project would kickstart. With regard to the backlog, you gave us an opportunity after the
budget speech to outline our approach. And if I can just remind you what we said, is that we have quantified all the backlogs in the province, district by district, municipality by municipality. We know how many projects are stalled or blocked per municipality. And what we are doing, we said we're going to take 80% of our budget to address the backlog and only use 20% for new construction of the houses so that we address all the backlog. Now, the 80% would not suffice to attend to all the backlog, so we are prioritizing. We are in discussion with the municipality to tell them about our plans in terms of addressing the backlog. We have rounded all the municipalities to say this is where we are, these are the plans. What we need to do, because you are part and parcel of us, is to ensure that we communicate this information to our community. Because we move from the assumption that once we have communicated with the municipalities, the councillors would then, on our behalf as another sphere of government, communicate the plans of government to say, in our area we have 134 units that are blocked. The department's plan is to ensure that in this financial year, at least they address 80% or 20% of this. So we are on course, and this information has been communicated to all our municipalities. I think that would be our response to the two questions. Thanks very much, Prim.
Thank you very much, Tate Brian Setombung. I will respond to the question, Isama, or how much have we invested as government. We have invested 15 million for this event, and it will cover your productions. It will also cover your artist performance. It will also cover your accommodations and logistics and etc. We all know how big is the event, but also as a province, we are happy that the tourism attraction for this we know what happens, and then MEC Linkopane will then benefit from this because the hospitality, your transport, your food, your petrol station and so forth will benefit from this because people have already arrived in the province from as far as other provinces. They're already here. They arrived last week, Sunday. So it means those people need to eat, need to drive around, to go and look for the clothes in and around Moses Kotane and Rustenburg, respectively. And then this event also will contribute to the arts development. We will have your music workshops with RISA in all our districts. They have already started with those workshops. We will also make sure that we empower our sector. Our industry experts will be there to help our young people or our artists. They will benefit from this event. We will also have give opportunity for the Northwest artists to get the platform to also showcase their talent, so that they will be performing in this event. And the co-host of this event now, one of us in the Northwest Province. Remember, many years ago, the host outside. So we have agreed with them that one of the hosts must be from us as the Northwest. And we are making sure that by taking these summers back to the province, we want to brand our province. We want to get back where the province was before. We all know that Sun City or Northwest one was one of the province and who host big events, and we are getting to that. On the Taung cultural calabash, because Mabana Arts culture is not here, but I'm here. I'm from where I'm standing. They are busy with the plans to make sure that the calabash will be hosted. We made sure that there's a resource for that as department. So we will be hosting that calabash. It's supposed to be in September, unless maybe the officials will be very slow with their procurement. We know that as the MEC, we are very far from the procurement. So right now we just announced from where I'm standing, the calabash should be in September. Thank you very much for that. Thanks.
MEC Morueng, are you covered? Okay. No, e siame ga MEC Morueng e arabile sentle o bakeng. All right, Premier. Oh, come through.
So thank you very much. Ke lebetse e botlhokwa. Di-ticket tsa di-summer di santse di rekisiwa. MEC and HOD and the new MEC a bana di-ticket tsa mahala. Ke buile le ko budget speeches, so sentse go buletswe, please buy those tickets. Premier ke tlhalositse ne ke re ke bolele le ba media ke kopa le gase sentle. Batho ba tle ba tlhaloganya gore di-ticket di a rekisiwa sentse di buletswe ga ise di fele, please buy tickets.
All right, MEC Mokua.
No, thank you very much for the question posed on Mateng and Mulelema. You'll all remember that we appointed a previous contractor for that particular road. Unfortunately, it was a contractor from our local. Akere la tshwantse re procure batho ba mo gae. Unfortunately, we had to terminate that particular contractor, but after following proper processes, so that after termination, we don't have to deal with litigations. Now, I can safely report that we have appointed a new contractor, and that contractor has already been introduced to the community, and that happened now on the, if my memory serves me well, on the 23rd of June. So where we are sitting, he's busy with the mobilization. We are expecting an site establishment and those other issues that he has to attend to. We are expecting him to start at least not later than the 14th of September to work on that particular road. Thank you very much.
MEC Lenkopane.
Oh no, I was reminded gore ke tlogetse one question ya Seweding. Let me confirm gore the sewer line ya ko Seweding ko Motlhabeng, the contractor is on site as we speak. The former acting MM before Atsama, it was one of his priority. So the matter has been attended to, that I can confirm. Thanks.
Thank you, MEC Mulapisi.
Let me respond to the question here. What are we doing, department ya Mafasi e Pampa to Mafasi and the creation of jobs? I think Honorable Sambata is not here, but we are working together from the economic cluster to make sure we have a lot of communities that are owning the land, but we have not done enough in terms of improving the economy. And like I have indicated in the budget speech of the department, and I have said, Premier will pronounce the amounts of the investments. I can confirm, the Department of Land Reform, where communities are owning the land around the protected areas like your Pilanesberg and your Madikwe. We have changed the model of how they have been benefiting because any impact to job creation and economic growth. But with the new model that we have adopted as the 7th administration, but the welgeval Papolomiti and Bakhatla around the Pilanesberg. We have facilitated as government the new approach where we have the investors coming into co-management agreement facilitated by government, lead those communities, meaning the more we improve and start to intensify infrastructure development and operations that are investment related, improves the economy, makes those communities to benefit, reduce the number of people who are coming from those communities as unemployed. I will also refer to Barokologadi, Lebapalane Basesube around the Madikwe areas. We have already facilitated investors. We have signed co-management agreements. The Premier will pronounce in his investment conference the amounts. And then we have also facilitated with the MEC for agriculture the intensification of export, especially focusing on agro-processing, also to be where our people batla simolang badirisa dikuno sa lefatshe le le tswang from the Department of Land Reform reba linka with the countries for export. We have quite a number of companies that we have lined up that has already signed the business-to-business agreements. The Minister of Agriculture has already also started engagement with China to agree on such exports, and that is also going to improve our economy and will start to make our people benefit from the land they are occupying. That comes from government. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Co-Department of Agriculture, just to ride on what MEC Lenkopane say, they've got empowerment programs for our small-scale farmers, including commercial farmers. But these are based on grants. And on an annual basis, the department advertises these empowerment programs for our people to participate and make applications so that we empower them at that level. The issue that has been said by Minister Mamoloko Kubai on illegal or illicit mining. Now, all the regulatory framework, mining needs review or amendment. That's what she was emphasizing. But central to your question was to criminalize this illegal mining. And the amendments are intended for that because they found that there is a missing gap where it's not clearly defined that this illegal mining, whether on PMGs or whatever, is it criminal to mine illegally and be in their possession? And you cannot tell us it's a guy. So that's the intention, and we welcome that. We welcome that as a province because we are a mining province, and these activities happen in our province. And if the law cannot be meted against such people because of legislative loopholes, it becomes a problem. So in tightening this illicit mining, we need a review of our own legislation, and it's exactly what they are doing, and we are welcoming what they are saying. Premier is responsible for the executive council of the province. The Premier is not responsible for the legislature. I'm responsible for the executive. I only speak on what concerns me, not other people's business. Now, the legislature, it's a space for political parties. It's a space for political parties to forward names for election. You'll recall that for you to be a speaker, you must be suggested, supported by members in the legislature. It's not an appointment, like in this instance, by law. And therefore, political parties will then go to the legislature, appoint a new speaker. And those who are in the majority will then have a speaker. Mine was just to appoint MECs. But the issue of the pipeline of Mokhlabeng has been addressed. The issue of lifestyle audit. What is currently happening with the executive is that they only do what is called disclosures. They do disclosures, not a lifestyle audit. But what we know is that DPSA is busy reviewing guidelines as it relates to lifestyle audit for executive. Now, once DPSA has finalized and this has been agreed and adopted, we will then follow suit because there is a clear framework on how to do lifestyles audit. What we only have now, they are disclosing to the premier and the executive their lifestyle. We welcome that there is an organized formation for media, our local media and print, because it becomes easier to negotiate. And, I think it's much accepted and appreciated. The PCFs as an organization we can engage on. I think in the next meeting you'll engage at that level in terms of when and how these commitments are made. So if there's a platform for us, the better. So we welcome the interaction. The 2026 local government elections. You know, elections will come after every 5 years. There will be elections. So elections must not stop government to function. Then there is no need. We are a government until the day of the election. And we'll have a new government after the election once results are announced. So we'll never stop until the day of the election to run government. And if a decision must be taken a day before the elections are announced, a decision will be taken. Because we are a government. We are still in charge. We have been given 5 years by the people of this province. So there is no electioneering on any decision that has to happen. We were addressing people ka Tunzalero, but no lutlile mo ka gore ke ngwaga ditlhopo ke gone lo tlang lo ntse lo seo go ditsobo just a week or two ago. When we were in Ditsobotla ko Besses Flay, we were in Ditsobotla ko Itsose, we were in Ditsobotla ko locationing, I sa gopola location le le Paula. So we are going to Ditsobotla for the 4th time. Maramoto wa ema mo gare ga crowd are you are coming here. Khalolo se or maybe ke wena ntse le go Gauteng. Ntse se o mo nrele ko Besses Flay, nrele ko Itsose, nrele ko ka re mmolelela gore nrele leng ko teng. So it's not that we are coming here because it's local government elections. Government must work. People must receive services on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, political environment by its nature, that's where we are. So if we were to say your decision is informed by politics, yeah, correct. So it's because we are here because of politics, and we are contesting state power, which is a site for struggle to better the lives of our people, because our people voted for us and they said we give you 5 years to better our lives. So that's why we are here, and because it's a political mandate. We've got a responsibility. So So political decisions influencing whatever we do, yes, I agree. There is no any other way. There can't be any other decision besides politics, which may include political economy, which may include a number of factors. So as a result, you can't take away politics from the work that we are doing on a daily basis. For instance, in education, we have put aside a budget for extra classes, for weekend classes, for the camp, there is budget, there is people who are going to work. Because we have planned as a department that this is what we are going to do. And lastly, Tatestwambung, is the e-recruitment issue. E-recruitment issue is going to assist us. In my speech, I speak about efficiency and effectiveness with e-recruitment. Somebody who stays in Khanyesa, if another access to connectivity, o kgona go romela application as a palama taxi or this, or apply for any opportunity in government, or adira hand delivery submission. You are also assisting element ya letsogo la motho, because in the process applications ilatlhegile, wena o no applyile gate ga e bonwe, stata go na le di-allegations tsa gore ke a itse gore go na le ngwana ga malome, ke a itse ga mpatle ke ena e gogile. Now o fokotsa dilo tseo wa re a re dire di-recruitment re di dire ka e-recruitment gore o hokotse go ne le efficiency, effectiveness, e hokotse le letsogo la motho. But also it thusa in many ways. You know, I give just a typical example. If a lady in the dispute, or why not kisa shortlistiwa, why we're now shortlisted? Because that system, kaboyon, you receive the applications they are 10. Irinaya batubale 1,500 applicants. It takes you another 3 months to profile those applications. Now, this system, AI system very easy for compilation. Yeah, the application, if they online. But over and above, if you shortlist, you give the system your evaluation or shortlisting criteria. You give it your shortlisting criteria. You load it. In 10 minutes, it gives you people who are qualified. I want about to send the clock for 10 days. Obanaya and already preliminary people who are shortlisted based on your procurement, but evaluation criteria. Shortlisting criteria, yes. So I'm just saying it assists, it makes our work easy, it lessens complaints, it brings efficiency and efficacy. So those are some of the advantages of e-recruitment. We will do it, and the nice part of it, we are having it at no cost. We are having it at no cost as government, and therefore we are very happy that Gauteng has agreed with us on this, and they are using it, and we are going to utilize it. That's why I think we are done, unless journalism was a receipt of it.
No, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
I asked the Premier, don't he think maybe it's high time to declare the state of emergency, unemployment as state of emergency, and also on his reshuffling? Whether is it because of performance or not, or political instability? So thank you.
Okay. No, you similar go tla ka wena gore go na le political instability. Na ke simolola go utlwa ka wena. Now, there is no political instability. We've got an executive, we are working, we are hard at work, focusing on our areas. In my speech, I made an indication that on a continuous basis, focusing on the strategic priorities of government, the Premier will continue to make an assessment, and from time to time, he will make changes to strengthen government to operate. Just for probably more information, is that we are approaching a midterm of the term of government. So it's upon us to assess what we are doing, where are challenges, where there are weaknesses. And on the basis of that, you develop a framework. We have taken a firm decision that we are going to reconfigure government. But before we reconfigure government, these are pressing matters that we need to focus on. And that's why I'm saying that there are priorities. We look at them, we assess on an annual basis or on a midterm basis, or from frequently you can assess. That's number one. Number two, reshuffling or changing of members of executive is the prerogative of the Premier. Probably we should emphasize that Premier is the head of government, and anybody who is appointed MEC serve at the behest of the Premier. That's what we should also understand. Now, if the Premier decides tomorrow that on the basis of the following, discussed with the respective MEC and agreed upon, I've decided to make a change, not based on performance. So performance cannot be a determining factor of changing MECs. There can be a variety of matters or issues that pushes the Premier to make a change, either on performance, either on any matter, whether is it from the Auditor General, whether is it from a law enforcement, any matter the Premier will make such a determination. So we don't base the changing of Exco on the basis of performance necessarily. In relation to unemployment in the province, unemployment in the province, we agree, it's a serious challenge. But as we agree that it's a challenge, defining it as a state of emergency, it will be an exaggeration. Now, and it's not only the Northwest, Ramaj, it's a country problem. And what we say, that's why every time when we speak to other political parties, we say to them, don't politicize unemployment, because it affects us, even those who are in power. Because unemployment in the main is how the country is performing internationally, in terms of the markets, in terms of investment, in terms of the global politics or the geopolitics of the world. So even tomorrow you can put another party to experience the same problem. What is important is how are we performing and how are we putting the province and the country at the center of the geopolitics of the world. And anything that happened in Ukraine, in Russia, in Iran will affect our country. That's why we take interest through our president and our foreign ministry to even intervene in certain areas worldwide, because we know the replicating effects of what happens outside South Africa and outside our borders to us as a country. Now, of importance is what are we putting in place to mitigate such detrimental impact that comes from outside influence. So in the presentation, I've put and I said, despite us not doing well as a country and as a province, this is what we have been doing and we are going to continue to do. MEC Linkopane has just explained what measures we are putting in place. She told you that we are also even having an investment and job summit where we have all these investors who are putting at the center direct and indirect investment to mitigate exactly that. We have just even in the speech spoke about the takeoffs that we are going to have when we launch our special economic zone. We have also put that in the speech, and she elaborated also. Because there are already confirmed investors who are coming, and we are going to anchor our projects in the SEZ on this confirmed pipeline projects for development, which are going to mitigate. So we will every now and then do all these things to mitigate, but we accept that this is a serious problem, and it's not only a Northwest issue, it's a country issue. Thank you very much.
We are requested to respond to issue of electricity. Was that the question?
It just disregards residents, despite the fact that they are paying for this electricity and it's very expensive. But for them to respond to power outages, selling default, not daily load reduction, it's enough, especially at rural areas. So we were asking the provincial government to assist in terms of, for Exco, a play a role in terms of ensuring that the lights are on and a respondela bagi electricity by patela.
Okay. No, maybe what we should do, Premier, without, because it's for the first time I'm getting that information. What we should do, because we are in a constant communication and contact with the Minister of Electricity, Dr. Mokgosi. I think we'll deposit these concerns that have been raised, and maybe together see to it or how do we respond in order to come to the plight of our people. So we are undertaking, or on behalf of the government, will engage the minister, raise this matter, so that we get a proper advice.
No, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Premier. Thank you, members of the executive, and thank you, HODs who are here, colleagues, members of the media. The announcements are as follows. We've come to the end of our briefing now. There is some snacks, colleagues outside in the kitchen. I think you know it by now. The request is that as we go out, let us please go out silently. Please, I'm making this request. There are arranged interviews that are going to take place.